Good morning. Our hand today is going to be pocket eights. In this hand, we have under the gun, open raises, and it's on me. I've got 50 hands on this player. He's playing 12-6. It looks to be kind of a tight player. Early position, he's played once out of 12 hands, raised first in once out of 11 hands when he had that opportunity. So I think he's probably going to be fairly tight. Again, out of 50 hands, could be tight, could be just no cards. I went with something like this. I'm going to take those out. It's like raising, maybe not even Jack 10. This is 7%. It's not the 8%, but I think it's consistent with the tight player, probably raising 8s plus. You know, maybe he doesn't have all of those. Maybe he's closer to like a 6% range, but definitely you can see it's skewed strong. So it's on me, and I have a 3 better call range. Looks something like this. 8s isn't in it. I'm gonna add it because it's kind of like on the cutoff threshold. I know with 8s, I'm gonna be behind all of his pocket pairs because I think 8s is probably as low as he's gonna go, or my suspicion is that 8s is probably about as low as he goes. So right now I'm thinking he's got pocket pairs, so he's got like a big suited Broadway, maybe like offsuit ace king, ace queen. So if that's my read of him with the 8s, I can either flop trips, probably get paid by all the pocket pairs, or I think if any like a 10 or lower flop, he probably isn't going to hit it with all of his unpaired hands. He could still hit his overpair with that, but that's something, it gives us a potential way to win the pot of playing aggressively and raising and taking it down. Now what happens is the big blind calls. Big blind's playing 29-12. Only have 17 hands. I'm just gonna go like a default big blind that I see. This is 10 NL, so I think big blind. A lot of big blinds end up calling very wide. This is about 44%. It's an approximation. I did take out queens plus ace king, as I expect that to be 3-bet. Flop comes queen 8-7, actually a very good hand for us. We flop our trips. The only hand we're really worried about is pocket queens, which is in villain 6's range, but I don't think villain 4 really has it. Villain 4 checks, no surprise. His donk frequency 0. Pre-flop raiser, now c-bets about half pot. What is he going to c-bet with? So this board actually is going to hit pre-flop raiser quite a bit. Also is going to connect a bit with the callers, because I think we're going to have some of these suited connectors, potentially suited connectors in a range. Just have to remember that when I called, I'm risking everyone else to call behind, so I'm going to probably have a stronger hand than if had I called like on the button. Especially being the first caller. So I think here we're considering probably I have pocket pair. And if I continue, I've probably connected either with 7s or 8s, or I have something like 9s, 10s, jacks that is floating right now to see if villain 6 or villain 5 continues betting on the turn. So I don't really think some players are playing this way, but I think it kind of makes sense. I'm calling, and I have got a large number of people behind me. Why did I call? Why not raise with some of my vulnerable hands, the hands that play better heads up? I think pocket pair is one where it can go multi-way, because we're looking to hit trips and then get paid off big. So I'm going to say only 50 hands. I don't have any c-bet stats on him. I'm going to say pair plus. We're going to give him the 2-card backdoor flush draws, so that's going to include some of the overpairs. We could probably give him all of the pairs if we think villain's going to be overly aggressive, but 80.5% probably is a conservative c-bet range. He c-bets. It's on us. What should we do? Well, we kind of have to think, what would we raise with? So I think we would raise with the set, which is what we have. I think top pair can raise too. Let's see what kind of... Yeah, it look like with our range, we're going to probably be... raising with almost all of them. Ace Jack is not on that list. So it is about 2 to 1. 2 to 1 for those. Why would we raise to protect? Because we don't necessarily want to see an ace of king. Or even if we've got these middle pairs, we don't necessarily want to see, let's say, a jack if we have tens, or a 10 if we have nines, and so forth. So I think these are kind of they're protected by our sets in our top pair. What are we going for value with? Well, ace queen could call. We're targeting some value with over pairs. Top pair, I do think we're targeting like 9s, 10s, jacks. I think they would probably c-bet and then call. Yeah, I think he's just folding those. I think he's just folding those if we raise. So I do raise. I think that's probably slightly small. Our goal is to try to get in. So by raising to 9, 9.5, that's about 2/3 pot, 3/4 pot. That's going to give us 19, 26. 26 in the pot. If he checks to us, we could bet kind of 26 again. And that's going to give us about a pot size shove. So in order to get all in, we're going to have to be getting pot on the turn, pot on the river. Hands that are going to do that will probably be maybe an overpair, maybe ace queen. Some players will call that one pair and call it, get it in with one pair, and that's not necessarily good. But in any case, I think this might be a little too small. I think maybe raising it up to 11 might be a little bit better. Might make it a little bit easier of a call. We don't have to bet as large to get all in. So we bet. This player folds. Now again, I think we're gonna continue with all of those. And villain call. So I'm gonna eliminate the 2-card backdoor flush draw. So we are now looking at something like this. All right, so he still has equity edge. 6 comes out, so I'm actually good. I think it's going to be scary, but again, do I really have a 9-10 in my range? I think a 9-10 would be more likely if I was in this position. Cutoff button, then calling from early position. I think 9-10 could be a suitable, suited 9-10 could be a suitable 3-bet pre-flop, but I don't think it's a call in an early position. Just because the number of players that are coming along, we're going to be out of position. It's going to be real hard to play that out of position. So he checks. I think here he's probably just going to check 100% to us, and it's on us now. So here, I think we continue betting our set. I think we're going for value. I think top pair could be justified in just calling now, just checking behind. So I think set, we're going to raise. I think with king, queen, queen, jack, I think we've got some showdown. I think we're going to check, and then probably have to call if he bets, as long as we have like a card like 8 or less. I think open-ended straight draw, we have some value, so I think that's also going to be a check. The 9s are going to be a check there. So do that. So we're about, when we check, we're about half value, half value, half draw. Our set, I think we're gonna balance that maybe with a gut shot. We're gonna have a little bit. We're gonna have too many gut shots here, so maybe we'll just have to pick some of the tens to bet. So let's see, what did I do? I bet 13. I think that was a mistake. I think we needed to go larger. I think we needed to go at least 25 here. You know, pot size bet. Again, we're not trying to blow people off. What we're hoping for is if we bet, I think set's gonna call. I think overpair is gonna call. I think top pair is probably gonna call too. That's what we're targeting. And I think it's realistic to believe that he would call those. Open ender, the nines are probably going to be calling. I don't think gut shot calls here. So I bet he calls. So I'm going to do that. He calls. We bet with our set. Oh, we're also going to be. Oh, the jacks. I think we're checking the jacks. So at this point, we've got sets or that 10 probably. Yeah, probably. And then the 10 hits, which would actually be good because that would give us another set with 10s and 8s. He checks now at this point. He's called twice. I mean, he could have ace queen. He could have a set. He could have us beat. So the question is, based on the size of my bet, is that going to change what he calls? So set's calling no matter. I think straight's calling no matter what. I bet a set calls no matter what. It's that over pair and the top pair. So how frequently? This is 100% of his hands. He's got top pair plus. That's what he has. If we bet the pot and he only calls with the set plus, we're in bad shape. We're in really bad shape. So if we have a straight, we can bet pot. If we have a set, I think we would still bet pot with a set. I think when he checks, and I think he did check, he checked to us, right? So he checked, and I don't have any reason to believe he would lead with the straight here. So when he checks, I check behind. I don't really like this. I think we could go for some value, and at this point, the run out wasn't the best. I really wish the 10 would have been lower, but it kind of helped our range a little bit. I don't really think 9, 10, jack. I think 9 is there. 9 now gives a straight. I think 9 would have called the flop. I think 9s would have called the turn. I don't think 10s would have, but jacks are still out there. Queens are still out there. Would have. I guess the question during the hand, would a set have raised at all? And I do think so. We didn't talk about it, but I think on the turn, quite possibly, he could have check raised the turn with the queen, or he would have raised the river. I think playing scared. I think we missed a bet here. I think we bet at least half pot here. We would have done pot last time. I think if we do at least half pot, he's probably going to call with the overpair top pair, and it's going to make us then think, man, should I have gone larger? So I didn't. I checked. I think that was a mistake. He shows queen 10, which he's got 2 pair now. Which if we look at top pair, I didn't have queen 10 in his range, but he had queen jack, so now he has 2 pair. I think he would have called. He could have given me credit for like ace queen or kings, and yeah, he would have called more. So didn't quite have his opening range. We'll add that. So raise first in, RFI from under the gun with queen 10 clubs. And hold on, I also have started to put down the bet size, since we're seeing some like smaller bets like this and some larger bets that are like 3, 3.5. So I'm trying to get a better feel for what those bet sizes mean. All right, hopefully you enjoy this, and if you do, look tomorrow for another one.